What's up, everybody? Tupac expert in the building. Yo, I want to talk about Fatal right quick because this story comes up sometimes. I seen the young Noble talked about Fatal, how him and Tupac, how he wasn't around at the end because he crashed Tupac's car, and Fatal said in another interview, he didn't want to come back. He left. He left California because he didn't want to deal with what Tupac had in store for him. And I'm gonna tell you what Tupac had in store for him after this. But just listen to this right quick.
Trying to fight for them, and then, lady basically let us know, like, Afeni, she was mad at Fatal, because when Pop, right before Pop passed, when we was in New York, at the MTV Awards, he started handing out his jewelry to us. He let Fatal, he didn't give it to him, he let him wear the Rolex and his Death Row piece. Pac had on his...
Okay, so he gave Fatal the Rolex and the Death Row chain. Tupac gave Fatal his Death Row chain, bro. You know that thing worth some money, bro. I wonder what happened to that Tupac Death Row chain. Fatal, oh man, what happened to it? Fatal gone now, but I want to know what happened to that Tupac Death Row chain that Fatal got, because Fatal never returned that chain. Did he pawn it? Did he sell it? Somebody got it.
His euthanasia joint, and he let Fatal wear it. Mind you, Pac, he didn't see Fatal for about 2 or 3 months. Like, his last 2 or 3 months of Pac life, Fatal was in New Jersey. He had wound up crashing Pac Land Cruiser one good night. He shouldn't even been driving. We at the Oakwood Apartments. He went to go get some liquor, and he come back and crashed in the parking lot at the hotel and hit the pole, the pole in the garage, man. The pole. Damn. He hit the fucking pole and smashed the whole. The damn Land Rover up, and he left. That morning, he called Gaddafi mom and said, "Get me a flight." He didn't even want to deal with whatever Pac was gonna say. And Pac woke up and he was just pissed. Like, you crashed my truck and then you leave before I even wake up. So he was pissed about that. But fast forwarding, we see Fatal in New York, and you know what I mean?
Cause Pop was crazy during them days, man. You know how Death Row got down. So Fatal, Fatal didn't want to deal with that.
We coming out there, we on our way, gather the soldiers and, come to the hotel, and Pac was happy to see his brother Fatal. He said, tonight, shine with this, put this shit on, put the Rolex on him and the Death Row chain. And that night,
he gave that man the Death Row chain. What Fatal do with that chain, man?
We had a little meeting after the after everything, and
that
he
Rolex.
Told Fatal to send the homies home, all our Jersey brothers. And we went downstairs. I remember we was downstairs for 20, 30 minutes, and Fatal hopped in the van and left with the homies. Mind you, niggas was drunk, high, and I don't even think he even probably even remember Pac said, "Yo, send them and stay," or I don't know, but he left. He had no cell phone and no shit like that back then, and Pac was pissed, man. He was pissed.
That's 2 times. That's 2 times Fatal effing up, man. Fatal effed up, bruh.
And he wound up getting shot. We go back to Cali, and we didn't see Fatal for the next day that we was in New York. So he still had the chain and the Rolex, and Pac ended up getting shot and killed, 2-3 days after we get back.
Come on, Fatal, you can't finesse your homie like that.
And I guess Afeni was upset that he didn't return it to her.
You see that? He didn't return it. The man sold it. I believe he sold it. and probably he didn't get enough for it if he did sell it. Cause that thing would have been worth probably a meal. By 2000, by when Fatal was alive. By the time Fatal had passed, that thing probably would have been worth a meal. You know.
So when Still I Rise, mind you, I don't think none of us ever even talked about this.
So when Pac wanted Fatal to stay, right? And Fatal didn't stay. He got in the van, like my boy Noble said, got in the van and left. Pac wanted Fatal to stay. I believe this is my personal opinion, that I think would have happened to Fatal. Pac would have had the Outlaws jump Fatal. You know what I'm saying? At first, Pac would have, like, checked Fatal, like, hey, bro, you effed up. Where you been? You still down with us or what? You still down with the ish? You know what I'm saying? Where you been, man? We outlaws, Pac would have made sure Fatal was still down, still an outlaw, to see where his head was at. And then after Fatal would have been like, yeah, I'm down, man. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, Pac, man. I just didn't want to, blah, 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 blah. Pac would have said, all right. Pac would have probably hugged him and then had the Outlaws beat him up. The Outlaws would have stomped Fatal out, man. They would have beat him up, for real. The Outlaws would have beat him up. Pac would have had the Outlaws jump Fatal, because that's how Death Row ran. If you effed up on Death Row, you got beat up by your own team, by your own brothers that love you. That's what happened when you effed up on Death Row. So that's what I believe Pac would have did. He would have had the Outlaws beat up Fatal. You know what I'm saying? And see where Fatal was at after that. But Fatal said, I ain't taking no egg whooping. I'm leaving. You know what I mean? That's it though. Tupac expert. Peace.